Yo guys, what's going on? Christmas Eve edition of the NFL Final Score. Hopefully everyone has a great holiday season from the Cash Calling AC Sports Network. And we have an announcement coming up in a few weeks about a new show we're going to be starting, so check that out. Aaron Rodgers, our Athlete of the Year, and also we have our Sports Year in Review, so check all that stuff out. Let's get going. First game, Lions 38, Chargers 10. Matt Stafford throws for 373 yards to help the Lions clinch their first playoff berth since 1999. The Chargers' slim playoff hopes, I believe, are now finished, but ultimately that was another disappointing season, and Norv Turner will be gone at the end of this season.
Yeah, and I mean, the Chargers are underachieving again. I hate to say it because, you know, Justin's a big Chargers fan, and I like Phillip Rivers, and I actually picked him to win the MVP. That didn't work out too well. Or you picked him to win the MVP, rather. I was going to say that didn't sound right.
That definitely
did not work out. Yeah, but the Lions have had a great season so far, and, you know, they finished it off today, clinching their first playoff berth since the 90s, so...
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to make the Lions a favorite in the playoffs, but in a shootout, the Lions can... If they got in a shootout with the Packers or the Saints, the Lions could compete. I don't think they're going to beat either of those teams, but would it necessarily shock me? No.
Bengals 23, Cardinals 16. The Bengals win allows them to control their own destiny, which basically means next week, which is the last week, means winner in.
Yeah.
For them.
And, I mean, there's a few other teams like the Titans who beat the Jaguars 23-17. Matt Hasselbeck, who has just had a really inconsistent season. At times he's been great. At times he's looked completely inept and like he's the 34-year-old Matt Hasselbeck he is. But the Titans somehow are 8-7. If the Jets lose and a few things got to happen, really. I think the Broncos and a bunch of teams are going to have to lose, but the Titans' playoff hopes are mathematically not eliminated at this point.
Raiders 16, Chiefs 13. The Raiders win puts them in a tie for the division with the Broncos' loss today, and you know they're very much still alive. I think if the Broncos lose, if the Broncos lose next week and the Raiders win, then they're in, right?
Yeah, it's basically one or the other is going to be in the playoffs next week. And I believe the Broncos own the tie-break, so if they both win, the Broncos will probably be in. The Broncos today lost 40-14. Tim Tebow obviously throws for 185 yards. That's not great, but C.J. Spiller rushes for 111 yards as the Bills demolish the Broncos and finally end that losing streak they've had since Ryan Fitzpatrick got his extension.
Patriots 27, Dolphins 24. This was actually a really good game. Wes Welker had 138 receiving yards, helping the Patriots come back from a 17-0 deficit to clinch the first round bye. Yeah,
and as long as things go right for them next week, the Patriots will clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough test. The Patriots have done this the last few years, been the best team, and ultimately have not done what they needed to do to get back to the Super Bowl since 2007. So we're going to have to see what happens. I think that the Patriots are certainly a contender, but if you're going to tell me they're the best team, I'm just not sure because of that defense. The Giants 29, Jets 14. This was probably the game everyone was looking at this week. The Giants were down 7-0. They're at a 3rd and 10 on their goal line. Eli Manning throws a pass to Victor Cruz. Should have just been a first down. Cromartie misses a tackle, and the rest is history. Victor Cruz is gone for a 99-yard touchdown, tied for the longest in NFL history. So, yeah, the Giants are, if they win next week, they are in against Dallas.
I gotta say something about Mark Sanchez, because he was awful in this game. He was god-awful. I mean, neither team played that great, but the Giants played 10 times better than Mark Sanchez did. He's just... wow.
Yeah, I gotta think the Jets are gonna have to look at making a change at quarterback. He's just ultimately, you have the talent there. They need another running back too. LT's 95 years old, and Sean Green's not a feature back. They need to fix some things on the offense. The wide receivers are there. I don't know what they're gonna do with Plaxico Burress, but it's not gonna matter as long as Mark Sanchez is your quarterback. Ravens 20, Browns 14. The Ravens can get a bye with a win next week, so they control what their destiny is. If the Patriots lose and the Ravens win, I think they might even be able to get the number 1 seed. It looks like they will hold off to win their division.
Newton and the Panthers finishing off the first strong season, and Bucks continue to disappoint. This was supposed to be a year of great optimism. Josh Freeman coming into the year was looked at as one of the premier quarterbacks in the NFL, and that team has just basically underachieved this entire season.
Yeah, and you cut out for a second there. It was 48-14 Panthers over the Bucks. Eagles 20 over Cowboys 7. A worthless game to me. Cowboys played their backups most of the time. The Eagles continue to piss me off as an Eagles fan now that they finally pull their head out of their ass and start winning now. But Tony Romo bruises his hand. That's probably the biggest story out of this game. Next week they will play the Giants. Win and you're in. So whoever wins that game wins the NFC East, and whoever doesn't will go home.
Steelers 27, Rams 0. Without Big Ben, the Steelers still handle the Rams easily and could get a bye with a next week win and a Ravens loss.
The Steelers are another one of those dangerous teams in the AFC. You know how they go when they get in the playoffs, and I'm impressed by what they have there. I still feel like they are the best team in the AFC North, even though they've lost to the Ravens twice. Vikings 33 to the Redskins 26. Toby Gerhardt steps in for AP yet again as a nice game, and Evan Royster, Penn State alum, had a pretty nice game for the Redskins, but ultimately it is not enough. And a game that just went final while we were doing this video. The San Francisco 49ers win 19-17 over the Seattle Seahawks. Alex Smith throws for 179 yards, and it really looks like right about now that the 49ers are going to end up getting a bye in the first round. And I did call the 49ers winning that division at the beginning of the season, but there is no way you could have told me at the beginning of this year that they were going to have the number 2 seed, they were going to go like 13-3 or 14-2, whatever they're at now. I just wouldn't have believed you. I would not have believed you, and I've really been impressed. Harbaugh obviously run away with the Coach of the Year. So I'm Timmy's AC. Hopefully everyone has a great holiday season, gets back, gets ready for a 2012 sports year that is certainly going to be great. And we will be here for the next few weeks to cover the NFL playoffs, which gets going in a few weeks. We'll see you later.